Okay.
So, little technical difficulties.
Yes. Another learning experience.
Yes.
But we're back.
Thank you for coming on this journey with us.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So you walk in the next day and you're like, is that recliner closer? It's a little bit, but not huge. So you think maybe it might just be you. And I
Hmm.
go, no, it's exactly where it was. That's where it's been this whole time. And you're like, okay. Next day you come in, it's 5 feet closer to the door, and you're like, I know for a fact it was not this close to the door the
Yeah.
other day. And you say to me, did you? Okay, who moved? Somebody's moving the recliner because every day that I come in, it's 5 feet closer to the door. And I'm like, it's exactly where it's been this whole time. Are you feeling okay? I've noticed that you've been a little stressed lately. I
Hmm.
think that it's starting to get to you because that recliner is exactly where it's been this whole time.
Hasn't moved.
Hasn't moved. So, I mean, it's lying. Gaslighting is lying, but it's not just lying. It's lying to make you think you're crazy.
Yeah. It makes you second guess how you think and how you feel.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Let's just be honest. It's demonic
It is 100%.
because how do how do you know when something is good or evil? God is good, right?
Hmm.
He is the epitome of good. Everything good comes from God.
Yeah.
Anything, anyone that would purposely confuse you to try to make you think that you're crazy is straight
It's,
up evil.
yeah. They're listening to the voice of a demon. Let's just tell it like it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the wrong voice.
Hmm.
So, which we will get into that later. And I was going to say that earlier as a precursor to this video that we Jen got a nudge that we need to get straight to the meat. And then when we started talking about that, I fully understood that what that meant was
Hmm.
that we need to be honest with you guys because
Yeah.
God has been putting it on our heart that so many of his daughters who are part of the army for the kingdom have been put on this earth for a reason
Hmm.
to fulfill their calling for the kingdom, which is just loving God and serving God and obeying
In
God.
him. Yes.
And when we are distracted by whatever it is,
Yeah,
it keeps us from fulfilling that. It keeps us from obeying. So
it
let's put
does.
it in those terms.
Right.
If our calling
You're
is obeying him,
right. But when you're in a relationship that has you confused like that all the time, you're so busy trying to figure it out and think, what's wrong with me? Am I crazy? Am I
am I
making things up in
crazy?
my brain? Um, am I not doing what I'm supposed to do? How can I make them happy?
It
You're
must
so
really.
focused on all that, you're not paying attention to God at all.
Oh, not at all. So
Yeah,
not only can you not obey him, God, you're not even asking him what he wants you to do
right,
because you're too busy trying not to lose your ever-loving mind.
right, right. And let's
So,
be honest, there are different levels.
oh,
Some of them can only drive you a little bit crazy, and others will put you in an insane asylum
I am laughing
for
because you gotta
real.
laugh so you don't cry. It's
Exactly.
not funny. That is so true. And I'm laughing because I've had one of each.
Me too.
That's how you
And one in
know.
between.
Yes, me too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, see, there's so much. That's what I was going to say. Thank you. I was going to say that as we're talking, we felt like we needed to get straight to the point, that
Mhm.
we're wasting time here. We're running out of time, women, ladies. We're running out of time. We do not get to live on this planet forever. Some
Yeah.
of us are like, thank goodness we don't want to, but we also don't get to, whether we want to
Right.
or not. Time is running out.
Yeah.
And we've been put here in this time on purpose for a reason.
For a purpose. Yeah.
Exactly. And we need to be paying attention to him in
Yeah.
order to ask him what he wants us to do. Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do now? Am I doing the right thing?
Hmm.
Because that's your calling. We talked about it in our video last week. If you missed it, go watch it. Your calling isn't some big career. It is obeying. And if you're
Yeah.
stuck in a relationship with anyone that's keeping your focus more on them than God,
On God, there's a problem.
then you're not fulfilling your calling.
Right.
And that's
Yep.
the only time that it should, the enemy's lied to us all of this time. You're not fulfilling your calling. You're not. But if you're in a relationship where you're not even paying attention to God, you're
He
really
does.
not.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to say those things to you because he's already got you distracted.
Ooh. Can you say that again for the people in the back, please?
He doesn't even have to say things like that to you because you're
Who?
so distracted with
Who
your
doesn't?
relationship.
Who doesn't have to say
The
it?
enemy, the devil, he doesn't have to distract you.
You know what I used to think? I used to think, what are people talking about? Like they have this negative voice that tells them negative things.
Oh.
I don't have anything negative. There's nothing, you know, like the enemy's not bothering me. The
Hmm.
enemy, blah, blah, blah. I don't have that. I don't have that. Guess what, Jen? He
Yeah.
had me right where he wanted me.
Yeah, me too.
He didn't
Me
have to
too.
tell me anything. I was too busy looking at this weirdo, trying to figure out what I can possibly do
To
to
keep
make
his
him
love.
happy,
Yeah.
which was nothing.
Hmm. Because you couldn't.
I couldn't.
No, because they're damaged too.
I couldn't fix him. I couldn't heal him. I tried to lead him to God, and I couldn't even personally do that
No, I couldn't either.
because that's a
It's
person's
between
relationship.
it's
Yeah,
between them and God.
it's between them and God.
All you can do is plant seeds.
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking? Oh, I remember too, before we had the technical difficulties I was thinking, what would I be thinking if I was a person sitting here where you're talking about? Because, I know people are going, well, he's not evil. He's not a
He's nice.
demon,
He's nice.
or he's nice.
Yeah.
Or in my case, he's not evil. He's not a demon. He's been hurt when he was little.
The sympathy card. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of them do. If you'll notice very quickly very quickly at the beginning of the relationship,
Hmm.
they tell you something that
Intimate.
intimate that makes them appear to be vulnerable,
Hmm.
that explains why they are the way they are.
Hmm.
And
It
them
gives them an excuse.
an excuse.
Yeah.
And them knowing that you are the type of person that you are, hoping, I mean,
Hmm.
they're betting that you are, they're pretty sure you are. They've seen you do a couple of other things, and they're like, yeah, she'll do
She'll do
anything
it.
to keep the peace. She'll do
Yep.
anything to make me happy. And so when they tell you this thing, whatever it is, they were abused, or their mom was always mean to them, or whatever the case may be, they tell you. And if you have empathy, you do feel bad for them,
You do.
and you are going to feel guilt the rest of the relationship if you don't constantly remember that they're a wounded little bird.
Yes.
Even though they're a big, tough man, inside
Inside,
is this
inside their
little
wounded
boy.
little, yes,
And guess what? You're right. There
they
is a
are.
wounded little boy,
They are. But you can't fix it.
and they never have gotten past that. and you
Mm-mm.
can't fix it.
You cannot.
They tell you
You
that on
cannot love
purpose.
them enough.
No,
You cannot be perfect enough. You will never be enough to fix it.
nothing. Even if at the
Ever.
beginning of the relationship, they tell you, if I just had a person who always fill in the blank. And then fast forward, you fill in the blank. Guess what? They're still not happy.
Nope, they'll find something else.
Now
Well, I
there's a
need you to do
new
this for
blank.
me. Yeah. Like, here's a good one. I was cheated on.
Oh,
So you go overboard to make sure they feel secure, like texting every hour
oh,
is to let them know you're thinking about them. And then, one day you miss texting them, and all of a sudden,
whoa.
hail falls from heaven, and you get, well, you don't love me anymore, and you don't care about me, you don't think about me. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can never miss that again. So I set an alarm on my phone. So I remember to text every hour to make sure that they know that I'm thinking about them all the
Oh
time.
my gosh. Pause. Do not forget this because
Okay.
this is huge for everyone listening. They can put themselves into this place. It might not be that exact situation, but earlier we were talking about manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that there was some gaslighting going on in that scenario too, but the big thing that going on there is manipulation
Mm-hmm.
for his needs.
Yeah.
He needs constant
Constant.
reassurance to feel worthy
Mm-hmm.
because
To
he's
feel
not
important.
not turning to the one person who can make him feel worthy,
Mm-hmm.
who can show him his worth.
So they start by making you feel sorry for them, and it turns into a job. And
And
it's a job that you can never fulfill.
call in, you
You will
can't call in
never get
sick
it right.
either.
No, no, there's
So
no time off.
how easy is it to focus on God when you have to set your alarm? I'm sure there's a little anxiety in there too. If something comes up and you know you're going to have to say, I have to do
I'm
this.
late. I'm late. I'm gonna be 5 minutes late. The wrath is coming.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I hear people's brains out there blowing because they're like, for them, it's, you know, if they don't have, they're a stay-at-home mom, and if they don't have all of his clothes clean every day when he comes home,
Hmm.
they don't really love him,
Mm.
you know, or dinner fixed every
Hmm.
day, or
Any need that they have that you haven't fulfilled is your shortcoming, not theirs.
absolutely.
That's what they believe
Yeah,
because it's your job to make them feel whole.
which is manipulate,
A lie.
gaslighting and manipulation,
Yeah. And you can't.
which is evil.
Hmm.
I don't care why you're doing it to a person. I don't mean this that I don't care about little kids that are abused, but I don't
We're talking about
care
adults.
exactly.
Hmm.
I no longer care that because something happened to you when you were 3, that is why you are doing this to me.
Yeah. That's
That's not
abuse,
okay.
right? My therapist actually told me it was emotional. Emotion. He was keeping me emotionally
Hostage.
hostage. And I was like, what?
Oh,
I'm
God.
just texting him every hour.
Don't get me started on things your counselor tells you that
Yep.
reduces you to a puddle on the ground
Well, I will. I'm going
in
to
a
put a
good
plug
way.
in. I'm going to put a plug in here. If you are in a relationship like this or have been, you need counseling.
Oh, 100%.
A good Christian counselor.
And let me say this. I used to be the type of person because I was a Christian through all of those
Me
relationships.
too.
And I was the type of person a long time ago that didn't believe, I'm going to say this out loud, that didn't believe in counseling because
Oh,
I thought if I had a problem, I take that to God, period.
because he is a counselor.
He's the master counselor. He's the Prince of Peace.
He is, but he's also equipped counselors on this earth with things that help us heal.
And
He uses people.
and if they don't, so what they do is bring up those things so
Mhm.
that you can take them to him to heal.
Yes, yes,
He can do it all. He can go, boom, you're healed. And that's also not how our God works. Read the Bible and
it's
then you
not.
learn that he takes you on journeys. He doesn't.
It's it's a companionship.
Yeah,
He's never going to do it for you. He wants to help you get through it.
absolutely.
So,
So I was also going to say that throughout this, we're going to be saying these things that we're going to have a whole video on later,
yeah,
counseling. We're going to have, and just know that we will come back and talk about those, but we both felt in our spirit that we had to get to the point today
yeah. And we're talking about being in toxic relationships.
because too
They
many
are in them
of
and they're being
us
distracted.
exactly distracted
And
from your calling.
yes, and you need to start seeking after God to show you the areas that you are distracted.
Yeah, ask him. He'll tell you.
He will tell you.
Ask him and then wait. Sit there and wait.
Hmm.
Now, there's another thing about all of this. Okay, so let's back up for a second. You asked me to explain gaslighting, which is lying, but in a way that makes somebody feel like they're going crazy.
Yeah.
Um, there were two other things, and they weren't manipulation. It was gaslighting,
Love bombing.
love bombing. Oh my gosh.
It usually starts with love bombing.
It does. And it's another thing that has been, the word has been so overused that I didn't finish saying that earlier, that the enemy loves when we overly use all of these words because then people stop paying attention to them and they
They
don't
do.
think that they're as serious as they are.
Yeah.
The reason that being in a toxic relationship is so serious is because not only does it pull you away from God, but it also causes physical things, which we'll do a whole video on that too. But I just want to say, um, you got stuff going on in your brain literally because of
Hmm.
it's called cognitive dissonance. Whenever you, when you're coming in every day and that's going on with the recliner, and I'm telling you that it's not going on, the recliner hasn't moved, your brain is it's trying to figure that out, even though you hear me, but you also know what your eyes see.
Right. But it starts making you doubt what your eyes see,
hmm And
which is dangerous.
so that's happening, and then you've got a person being nice to you one minute, mean to you another minute, and the chemicals in your brain are just constantly changing because you've got cortisol when you're stressed out, and you've got dopamine whenever they're being nice to you. So for the love bombing, that's where the dopamine comes in.
Hmm.
And oh my goodness gracious, you think that it's the
Strong.
best thing you've ever felt in your life
Hmm.
until you actually witness the peace of Jesus, the
Yeah.
absolute utter peace of Jesus, that dopamine
It's false.
feels like the best thing that you've ever felt.
Right.
It's
But it's not real.
false. It is temporary.
And
And
it's
there's a
not real.
crash whenever
Hmm.
it's gone.
That's why you have the roller coaster.
And that's why you get addicted. to the dopamine
Yes. Yes.
and you want it back. So at the beginning, um, let's say Love Bomb, it doesn't take them very long. A lot of toxic people are really good liars. To be a
Hmm.
really good liar, you have to be a little bit intelligent
Hmm.
and creative. What that equals is a person who is manipulating another person to get the emotional what they need,
Hmm.
right? Not caring what it does to you because it's causing this inside your brain.
Right. That's the
Letting you,
key,
yeah,
is they don't care what it does to you.
no empathy for that. That is
Hmm.
the key. That's the difference, which we'll talk more about the difference when I say that's the difference. Um, the difference in a person who that what makes them toxic is that they don't care what it does to you.
Hmm.
You know,
All they care about is what they're getting.
what they're getting.
Hmm.
And so the love bomb, it when I was explaining how they're really good liars and they're creative, so you've got a person that is a little bit intelligent a lot of the times.
Hmm.
Um, and
Usually they're very intelligent.
very intelligent. A lot of the times these type of people are they get away with it because they're good at it because they're intelligent.
Hmm.
It's a case of using your talents for evil instead of good
Hmm.
because it works for them, so they continue to do it. And so my point about them being intelligent is it doesn't take very long to know exactly what you want when they meet you. A lot of
Right.
times we're stupid enough to tell them, I just wish
Right.
I had a man that held my hand and listened to me. So in the beginning, guess what he's going to do if he's halfway intelligent?
He's going to hold your hand and listen to you.
Yes. So they get to know you very quickly and they know exactly the type of woman you are and what you
Hmm.
like, and they do it a lot.
Well, and they learn so fast.
So fast.
They learn what didn't work the last time. So they're going to use, they, what's the word?
Um,
Morph, or
Mirror.
that's it. Yes, they mirror their victims,
Oh my gosh.
and they are victims.
So I've heard they are victims. We have been victims. I didn't want to admit it whenever I
I didn't
found it
either.
out, but it was the absolute truth.
Hmm.
Um,
A lot of the healing comes from admitting things that we don't want to admit. Let's be honest.
uh, all of the healing comes from you have to acknowledge
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
you have to admit it. And I have been all of those people. And I've also seen all of those people who don't want to admit it, don't
Yeah.
want to acknowledge it. I've been that person and I've seen that person who acknowledge it and then say, this is where I want to
It's
stay.
easier to stay than to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
And
lots of
I've been
reasons.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That's one thing about you and I. We're never acting like we're better or smarter
Mm-mm.
or more in touch with God. Um, I was a Christian through this whole thing, and I felt that tugging, just like you said, you always felt something, Jen.
Yeah.
I felt that I was made for more than this.
Hmm.
And, you know, the the enemy who wants to keep you trapped there might be like wanting to keep you there, wanting to say, "Oh, you think you're too good to be, married to a guy in Southwest Missouri just living in a mediocre house with a mediocre, that's what makes you think you're called to for more than that. What makes you think that you're better than that? What makes you think that you're too good?
Hmm.
There's all those different things to
Hmm.
keep you stuck. That's not
Right.
what it was. Mine had nothing to do with money. It didn't have anything to do I mean, I knew that there was something that I wasn't fulfilling that I was supposed to be fulfilling.
Me too. Even though I didn't know what it
I
was,
had no idea.
I knew there was something I was missing.
And we were so lied to by
Hmm.
the enemy that we were supposed to stay married, even though staying married was keeping me from fulfilling it because
Yeah.
I was so distracted. I was so unhappy. The
Oh yeah.
and
I'm gonna
uncomfortable.
say it, one of them almost killed me physically. I got so sick physically, it almost killed me.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it just it affects you in so many ways.
Which is another side effect of
Yes.
abuse of a toxic
Hmm.
relationship.
Yeah.
Abuse of any type of toxic relationship, mental, emotional, verbal, like we talked about earlier.
Hmm.
There are all kinds of side effects. We
There
talked
are
about your brain, then you start thinking, maybe he's right. Maybe I am going a little crazy. Of course, he's going to be like,
yeah,
and
you are.
you're, you're, uh, you just had a baby, or you're getting ready to go through menopause, or you've put on weight, or whatever the case may be, that, yeah, you need some medication.
Not therapy. They don't
Yeah,
want you to go to counseling.
never, never go to counseling because that counselor might tell you that he's the problem. So they never want you to go to counseling.
Or they may agree to go with you in your love bombing stage
True.
just to try to keep you. But most of the time, they don't want you to go to counseling.
Most of the time, no counseling. They would love for you to get on medication, though, because then they can tell the people who listen to them,
Yeah.
well,
Look what I have to deal with.
she's got issues.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look what I have to deal with.
Exactly. Don't you feel sorry for me? Now they've
Hmm.
got a new person that gives them some emotional support. So you said love bombing. Okay, so the love bombing, what it does is it meets a need in a broken person, which I'm pointing at myself because I have been a person who wasn't healed. Okay, so if you're not healed, you're broken in some way.
And everybody's broken in some way.
Yes, absolutely.
Life breaks
Yeah,
you.
yeah. And so when you have not taken the time to heal and grow in God, you've got these voids.
Hmm.
And when you meet one of these intelligent people who are really good liars, smooth talkers, charmers, they are intelligent enough after they meet you, some of them in 5 minutes. I've heard them say, I can meet a person in 5 minutes and know exactly everything about them. And I've watched, and it's true.
Yeah.
Because also it's demonic. So they're getting a little help from the other side.
And
But
let's face it, most women have the same needs.
yeah, so true. That's so true. It's not hard. It's not too hard to figure us out, is it?
Mm-mm.
So they do it a whole bunch at first, and it feels like the best thing that you've ever felt. Okay. So the love bombing, the reason that it's so important, because a person might go, duh, when you first meet each other, everything is good. And so you just get along and it feels really good to both people.
And you're just getting to know each other
And you're
and
just getting to know each
mhm.
other. But as as time goes on with a normal person, they're not going to drastically change the things that they did in the beginning. I personally don't meet a guy and think, oh, at the beginning I'm going to be fabulous and wonderful, and then gradually just to get a little bit more, less. I mean, of course you're trying
You put
and
on your best
you put on your best
in the beginning.
in the beginning. Yeah,
That's normal, but that's not what they do.
that is normal. That's not what they do. And in
Mm-mm.
fact, what they do is so drastic when it stops that you think you did something wrong.
Yeah.
And or
And
you've
they let you believe that.
and they let you believe it because you absolutely did, and you better get yourself in line in their eyes.
Hmm.
And so we then spend the rest of the relationship trying to get back to the way that they treated you in the beginning so that you can have that dopamine again.
Yeah.
And this is ingrained in them. So this
Hmm.
next part, it's ingrained. They just know to do it. They will give you little drops along the way, just like a heroin addict, so that you can feel that little bit of dopamine that you felt at the beginning that keeps you coming back for more.
They know they have to keep giving it to you
Yeah.
or you wouldn't stay.
Otherwise, it would all be bad. And why would
Yep.
anyone ever stay?
Nobody would stay. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have to keep giving it to you. It is. It's just like a drug.
It is just like a drug.
Hustler said it's like cocaine.
Yeah.
It's a strong addiction. It's as strong as an addiction to cocaine.
And I heard heroin.
That opened my eyes.
Me
I
too.
was like, wow, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Hindsight.
It,
I
it,
was like,
it
because I knew it was bad and I couldn't leave.
couldn't leave. That
I
was the,
could not, I could not leave.
yeah.
I had people in my life going, what are you doing? You deserve so much better. Why are you staying with them? They treat you terrible. Why? But I love him. And
And
I could not break that bond. I couldn't
that
break it.
hold,
Mm-hmm.
because that you wanted
Because
that feeling back that he made you feel in the
it
very beginning,
was an addiction and
because there was
the
nothing.
high he gave me was really high.
So that high happens in the love bomb. We got
Mm-hmm.
to get that in first. You know, if you were comparing it to a drug addict or a drug experience, I think I've even heard people talk about they give you the really good stuff in the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
the clean, the whatever. So you have
Yeah.
this wonderful, wonderful high. And then as time goes on, that same dealer or whatever, they start
Starts giving
cutting
you
it,
trash.
start giving you trash. Yeah. So your high is never the same again,
Right. But you still crave it.
but you still want to get that one back because you think it was the best thing that you ever felt
Yeah.
before.
And you're like, they did it once, they can do it again.
Yes. Why can't you just love bomb me though for the rest of time? If you got it in you once, where to go? One of them told me one time, he said it would be exhausting to keep up what I do in the beginning.
You're like, no kidding. It's exhausting for me to keep, it's exhausting to keep up with them, to
What?
please them.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
But he said it would be exhausting for him
Him.
to
Yeah.
keep up the love bomb.
Yes. Exactly.
He told on himself, and they do.
They do if you listen.
If you listen and once you start paying attention to their
Hmm.
patterns.
Hmm.
So earlier you had said something, and I was thinking, how would I have known that in the beginning? Because I didn't think he was evil. I,
No.
I watched him get saved.
Mm.
Um, I didn't think that he was,
Went to church with me.
he went to church with me. I didn't think that he was a bad person.
Mm-mm.
I didn't think he had evil intentions, but the way that I knew that something more was going on was, like I said earlier, the cycle.
Yeah.
But no matter what, there was always, like you said, roller coaster. It
Hmm.
always came back, and there was always an excuse for it. And usually it was my fault.
Oh, always. It's 99.9% always your fault.
Hmm.
Yeah. Once in a while, you'll get one that will say, oh, yeah, uh, my bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, but they don't mean it.
That's
They
a
say it. They say it to manipulate you.
mhm.
So
And what was the other thing? It was love bombing, gaslighting,
gaslighting.
and there was one more.
What was it?
Our viewers probably know. If you remember, put it in the comments and we'll come back and talk about it later. But if this, I think if this video, and this is just the tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
if this made you even at all, for one thing, if you're seeing it, that's not on accident
Right.
because we're not famous. So the fact that it came up in
You
your,
can, I mean, just look around. We are normal women.
we are normal women who have full-time jobs and we're so busy, can't even meet. So we're doing this
Yeah.
online because he
Yeah.
told us we're running out of time and he
Yeah.
needs his daughters.
Yeah. He needs the daughters to wake up.
We are
It's hurt.
daughters of
Yeah.
the King.
We are, and we need to start pushing back the darkness.
We have a job to do. We're here
We are
for
the
a
light.
reason. We
His
are
light
the
is
light
in us. So we are
pushing
the light.
back the
Back the
darkness.
darkness.
But and we're here for a reason. We weren't just put on this planet to have a happy life.
Mm-mm.
As much as we want to think that, whatever you think, whatever your beliefs are, we weren't just put here to be happy
No,
under the world's
we're here
standard.
to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And
And
in the process, he gives us happiness.
yes, and blessings and favor and lots of peace.
Yeah.
How about
Freedom.
how about that peace, Jen?
It's amazing. It's way better than anything.
Dopamine.
It's the best dopamine.
It's better than any temporary dopamine that we've
Yeah.
ever had
Mm-mm.
by
It's
far.
just, yeah, it surpasses all understanding, just like the
All
scripture says.
understanding.
Yeah. And it's hard
So,
to explain it to somebody that hasn't experienced it.
no, and I want everybody to experience
Me
it,
too. Me too.
especially the people that I know are stuck feeling the way that I felt.
Hurting. Oh my gosh. I remember there were days that I just wanted to die. I
Mhm.
wasn't suicidal, but I was like, I'm
Mhm.
just done.
Yeah, like I don't want to
I
do
am
this.
so tired. I feel like I can't do anything right. I'm just done. I'm done. But
Hmm.
he wasn't done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God he wasn't done.
Yeah. God wasn't done.
God was not done.
He had plans for you, still has plans for you, has plans for everyone, no matter how old or young, and no matter how many times you've
Right.
done
I
this.
mean, yeah. I just want to do a shout out.
Okay.
We saw or heard one of the most amazing sermons
Oh my gosh.
on Sunday. So I highly recommend you go to James River
James River Church YouTube channel.
Church, yes, in Springfield, Missouri. It's actually Ozark, Missouri,
Hmm.
and listen to Louis Giglio's sermon on purpose.
And that was this past Sunday, which
It was
was,
the,
but actually, you know what? I think they uploaded it yesterday, which was the 15th, but the sermon was on the 13th.
yes, it was the sermon for the 13th. Highly, highly recommend that sermon.
Oh my goodness. So it's Louis Giglio at James River Church.
Yeah,
And it's on James River Church's channel.
yeah. You can watch it on YouTube.
One of the best videos I've ever seen or
Oh,
sermons that I've
sermons.
ever heard in my entire life.
It was so good. And the way he explained what we talked about in our last video, it was just highly recommended. Go watch it.
Oh, yeah, it's life-changing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's life-changing. I
it
talked to
is.
somebody in their 70s that said they had felt this one way their whole life until they heard that sermon. And she said, I'm letting go of it today.
That's amazing.
So,
Praise God.
um, I was gonna say that if you're seeing this video, it's not on accident. Obviously, you already know if you want to see more of our videos to subscribe to the channel, and then that way you'll be notified whenever we make new ones. But
Yeah,
if you're seeing it, it's not on accident. And if it, if you got poked at all, ask him what it means.
yeah,
Um, ask him for more information. We are going to be breaking apart. We're going to be adding on to what we said tonight, and we're going to be
Hmm.
breaking apart what we said. We're going to go into more detail. I want to hear more about the way that Jen was living when she had to stay to that strict schedule. I know that that was speaking to people. I could feel it. And we have other things ways that we
Oh,
have to live.
yeah. We're going to share our stories.
Hmm. So, um, yeah, let us know if there's any questions that you have, any prayer
Yeah.
requests
Right. Or
we can
anything you want us to
talk about,
expand on, or yeah,
expand on. Yeah,
we'll
there's
do our best.
so much. There is so much. And of course, we don't want to, we don't want to make 3-hour videos. So we're trying to break them apart. And we also have full-time jobs, but we're doing what he's laying on our heart to do.
Hmm.
So even when we're feeling busy and overwhelmed, he's
We're
like,
still going to, we're still going to come here and do it.
absolutely, he's like, excuse me, gently, but we both get
Yeah.
the feeling of he's like, I
This is
need you
urgent.
to
There is an
tell.
urgency to it.
Exactly. I need you to tell my
Hmm.
daughters. They're
Yeah.
distracted and they're not listening to me. And I
Yeah.
need them in the army now. Now.
Right now.
Now.
Right now. Yes. I agree.
Yes. So we will be back
Yeah.
and we love you.
We do love you.
We
We
pray for
want,
you.
we want you to have peace and freedom in Jesus.
100%. And we want you to hear him. We want you to be turning to him more than any man on this earth and asking him what he wants you to do. And we want you to have the freedom and the peace to tell him yes.
Yes. Yes. And remember, it can be something very small. It usually is
Starts.
something very small. He always starts small.
Yeah. And then the blessings and favor that come after you start telling him yes, and your yeses get
And
easier.
they do. And you just can't, there's not enough time
Mm-mm.
to say all the blessing and favor that comes with the obedience that follows your obedience.
Yes. Okay. So thank you for watching. Share it with
Yes,
anybody that you feel needs to see it.
please.
Um, and we love you.
We do.
You're
God
our
bless.
sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless.
God bless.
Bye bye.
Bye.